Hello there, Seraphim17 once again. This is my Dark Souls 3 Ring City DLC walkthrough. This is Slave Knight Gael, and this is the final video of this run. I prefer to call him Gael, because it sounds almost tropical and interesting. Gael makes me think of her from Coronation Street, which is about as effeminate as it gets. I have no idea how you pronounce his name. It's a very interesting spelling, but yeah, kind of weird, isn't it, that he would have such a mundane name, even if it is spelt fantastically. So, this is an incredible boss fight. I like this boss fight a lot. I still think that just like every other boss in this DLC, he has too much life and he has too much defense, because as you get through the New Game Plus cycles, these fights last a lot longer than anything in the main game. They last even longer on New Game than anything in the main game, and they really do feel like they're inflated. And it's an unfortunate feeling, but it's true. A lot of people love that, which is awesome. I'm just not one of those people. Additionally, I think the best way to fight Gael is to hit him with a fast weapon. I'm using a slow weapon here because it does great damage, but using this weapon to find those moments where you can actually attack is a bit of a work of art, but it does have one really good benefit, and that is if you hit this guy in this phase I think 3 times, you'll get a stagger that enables you to get an extra hit. So you can use the heavy weapon's heaviness to benefit you during the fight, which is really nice, because if you know you can get 3 hits, you can generally get a stagger. And you can kind of consistently get staggers every few hits, and it will make the first phase quite quick, sorry. I don't know why my language is all fucked up today, but it is. So, first phase of Gael. He's going to do a lot of interesting animations that are designed to deceive you. Everything this boss does is generally quite slow. It's obviously pretty quick in the grand scheme of things, but it's slow in a sense that when you see it, you don't have to immediately dodge, because you always have time. Even in this phase coming up, you have time. He is a boss who has these moves that look like they come out quick, but they don't come out as quick as you feel like they are. So you dodge early and they catch you because they linger. So a lot of the moves that he does, particular in the first phase, you have time to dodge them, you have time to take your time and dodge them properly. It doesn't feel that way until you get a bit more comfortable, but once you get used to it, you should be okay. So second phase. He gets the Destructo Discs that do what that just did then. He gets the Evelyn that is really annoying when you're trying to no damage this. And then he gets this 3-hit combo and these overheads and these ground stabs that you're seeing here. The combo is an interesting one in this fight because Gael will sometimes do the full 3 hits and other times he won't. It doesn't seem to matter where you are when you're near him. It seems to be more a case of what he wants to do. And then the move you just saw then, he has 2 versions of that. One of them is up close where he whips his cape at you. The second one he does a jumping cape whip, and it has a really floaty early part but a very fast attack, so be careful of that. There is Destructo Disc. If you back up directly backwards when he's doing that, those discs will spread and they won't touch you, so you don't have to waste stamina should you need it. But you really need to be aware that those discs come back, and if you put yourself in a bad position, they'll kill you. And another thing that you need to know about Phase 2 Gael and potentially Phase 3 Gael, depending on how well you're doing, when he does his normal moves, so any kind of move that he does that you dodge, when you engage him again, he will almost always do the overhead. The overhead is a move where he doesn't modify it, unless you're in the second phase where he does, the third phase, sorry, where he does. I suppose technically you can count where he pulls it out of the ground as a modifier, because it is a second hit like that, but if you're dodging that overhead correctly, which I'm really not doing in this video, he will never do that end hit because you've already hit him and he'll already be pissed off at you. But this denounces that he's moving into the third phase. He will do a big excretion of red blob of dooms, and wherever those blobs land, they're going to glow and swell, and then lightning's going to strike. Oh, that's his teleport. He will always do this after his teleport, and then in the third phase, this turns into that crazy 3-hitting move. And like an idiot just then, I attacked him after the teleport, because I completely forgot that we were in the third phase, and I lived. So it tells me that there is definitely a strategy there. It's just quite dangerous. And then the good thing about the third phase, which is what I really like about Gael in this area, is he's very predictable in this mode. He will generally always do the same moves, and he will never ever stop the modification of them. He'll never just do one hit and then not continue. He usually always does the full combos in this phase, and it makes it a lot simpler. He also does not have the crossbow anymore, and he does not have the magic. But he can do a special jumping attack where he fires the crossbow at you, but he can't just pull it out casually, and it's the casual pull out which is the killer. So this will always generally be a 3-hit, and if you run around it like this, you can get 2 hits off on him with a fat weapon, and 1 and like maybe more if you've got a fast weapon. And then here he does with the blobs of doom and the jump and everything, and it's just kind of this. This is a single hit where he swipes, and then if you're close enough he'll follow it up and turn it into that modified combo, so you can get around it and punish it. But at this moment in time I didn't really understand this fight too well, so that's why you're not seeing me do any of the better punishes here. I'm just punishing the basic one. So keep punishing the 3 hits. That's a 2 hits that if you want to. That's the overhead that he doesn't modify until he does that. That's one of the rare modifiers in this phase. But in the second phase he doesn't do that, he'll just do the overhead. There's a 2 hit you can punish on that when he does it when it's not in this sequence. This is the triple hit sequence, of course. There's the overhead, should go into either a bounce or a second hit. There is him, 2 hits vulnerable right then. Here is the standard combo that he can turn into a 3 hit, so if you move around it like this you get a free opening. And then afterwards it's the overhead, but he'll modify it because it's the last phase. If this was the second phase he would not modify it. It's something to drill into your brain. And then there's the 2 hit, you can punish that, and I do. And there's the overhead, he can modify that, so be careful. There he turned it into the 2 hit, and then he did a weird thing, and then I jumped and I panicked and I lived, and I probably should have died. And then of course he explodes again. You do have opportunities to hit him as he's charging up for that explosion, but at this moment in time I was a little bit too paranoid to do it. It's definitely much better to do though, because it'll make this quicker. Here is the 3 hit combo, there's the ender, punish the ender, he's going to do the overhead afterwards, but if you move out of position he'll do that. That's the only reason he did that. Here's the teleport, this is going to go into the 3 attacks, so if you dodge this he'll jump, and then he'll move away, and then he'll jump towards you again, and you can dodge it all like I just did and punish it, but I got scared, because this is quite an old video at this point. So there's him doing the standard 3 hit combo. He didn't do the ender because we weren't close enough, but if you're in range to do anything, he'll always follow through, seemingly. There are those moments where he breaks that pattern, because I've said that he doesn't, he will do that, and he's done it to me. I have a 20-minute battle against this guy on the New Game Plus above this, when I'm not leveled like this, and it takes a long time, and he cheats a lot on that. He starts mixing me up pretty well. Here's the modification into the next 2 hits. There's the jump attack, second jump, move back into third jump. You can punish after the third jump if you want to, but I'm being very passive on this fight. There's the 2 hits, you can punish after that. That's a safe opportunity, but I'm getting space right now. There's the first hit, should be a second hit, then should be a thrust. There's your opening after the thrust. This should be the overhead. That will be modified. Whatever he modifies, punish accordingly. That's the 3 hit one, punish after the third hit. Just like I did, be careful of the overhead. And then he did it on its own, you see that? So he did the overhead without modifying it, interesting. This is going to be the jumping combo, into the second jump, into the backup third jump. And once you see these guys, you'll appreciate that the third phase, as intimidating as it is, it's actually way easier to control than the second phase. And I find it a lot more fun because I don't have to contend with when suddenly crossbow in the mouth, which is one of the things that makes me hate certain aspects of this battle, but I still think Gael is one of the strongest bosses in Souls history. I really like this fight. Here is the 2 and then the third hit, which is a thrust. It's a beautiful piece of spacing too when you realise you can do that. Is he going to modify it? He does, shoots the crossbow, third hit, attack him after the third hit. There it was. There's the overhead. Does he modify it? He doesn't. So after that combo, it seems like in the third phase, he'll do an overhead where he will not follow up. So there must be a way to manipulate the AI to get an extra hit there. So that's something to look out for. There is his Splooge of Doom. Here he comes again with the combo. Big hit, second hit, into thrust. I'm running away from the lightning because I'm getting nervous. Once again, I wouldn't do that now because I fought this a lot more, but at the time I was being very tentative. Here is the triple move of Doom. I'm doing a very defensive position against it. You don't have to, guys. You can run towards that final hit, get around him, and he will not hit you. But if you mess it up, you're dead. Full fight again. So you can imagine why I'm a little bit nervous here, or I was at the time. This is the triple. After the third hit him, and then he should do the overhead, and the overhead will not be mixed up. But he does the distance jump because I'm at distance. There's the double combo. Here comes the triple jump again. First hit, second, back step, into big jump, into Splooge of Doom. And then he's going to rush you now to do the standard combo, so be careful of the lightning. There's the first hit. There's the jump, punish after the second hit. Yeah, check me out, dude. Check me out. And then he does the explosion. Could have killed him then. Could have finished the boss fight, but I was nervous at the time. Very interesting. So he does the covering the distance move. He's going to come in for the combo now. So start with the big one, into the second one, into the thrust, and we should kill him. There we go. So a little slower than it could have been in the grand scheme of things, but I think that the fact that you got to see that boss for such a large duration of time is going to help a lot of people who aren't seeing his face for all that long because you're getting killed by him. The hardest part about this fight, in my opinion, other than the HP and the defense boost that they've got, is the fact that you spend so long getting to certain phases that when you get to them, you forget what they do. And you try fighting phase 3 with phase 2's punishers and vice versa, and it really plays off on your mind. But that's the end of the DLC, guys. I hope I helped you get through it if you're having issue. What did you think of it? Everybody seems to have interesting opinions with this one. Some people love it, some people hate it. How did you find it? Thank you for watching. You take care now.